Okay, this is Far 50 shooter from several farms. Anyways, we just got the 50 BMG Wilson 50 BMG case trimmer. Wanted to go over it with you guys, what I got. So we got the primer pocket reamer. We'll talk about that next. Basically, it comes with a trimmer, and it comes with the holder for 50 BMG. The way this works is you've got to do some loosening up, loosen this Allen screw, and when it's shipped with the bearing and the cutter turned around, so you have to take the screw on the bottom, loosen it up, and rotate the bearing around 180 degrees with the cutter. So now it's turned around in the cutting position. It's recommended that you clamp it on the sides in a vise, or use a Sinclair International's stand. There's also a bearing on this end that holds a threaded guide. This is the length adjustment. You unloose the Allen wrench, the set screw, and back up your stop when you're at the proper length that you want. They recommend 3/9/25. 3/9/25 is the length they recommend, and it's pretty easy to figure that. We're just going to back it out pretty good. You're going to need some dial indicator, an Allen wrench, and a flathead screwdriver to do this. It's a little tight. There's a little hole at the top to put some oil. There's also a threaded screw on the bottom. I'm thinking about mounting it to a block with a screw on the bottom, maybe with a couple other pieces of metal welded to a bracket and mount the bracket down. But anyways, this is how it works. Is you take your case length gauge. It's tapered to act like a chamber, so your brass slips in and it will sit on the there's like a little track here that this sits on, and the Sinclair's got a clamp that holds this down, but you can hold it with your hand. But we need to get the proper length, so we're going to set the dial indicator up for 3/9/25. 3/9/25. And we're going to clamp it down. Okay, now this is going to get us rough where we need to be, but what you'll do is you'll bottom the cutter all the way out into the gauge, and you'll go to the cutting surface of the cutter. Not the center, it's a little higher, I believe. But anyways, you go to the cutting surface and you dial in, you screw back in the stop, and it'll get you close, and then you do your fine adjustments after you trim. So it's best to make it a little bit bigger than what it is, so just do like a little small turn. Get an Allen wrench, stick it on there. But after you mount it, you pull your cutter back, and you have to have it across an edge where you can turn the handle. That's why it has to be in a vise. Now you know when you get it mounted, it's going to be a lot easier to function, but this is just a quick to show you basic operation of this cutter. That's it. Now you're going to chamfer and stuff. $3/9/26. One more. Do a little hair more. Once you get it set up, it's going to be real easy. This ought to be it right here. $3/9/25. Perfect. So let's see what happens to the next one. Take our next piece of brass, which hasn't been trimmed yet. We'll set it up. There's a power attachment for these. There's some, on this machine gun brass, there's a little bit of a lip. It's grabbing on it. But once you get it squared, it cuts easy. That's it, done. beautiful. It's a nice and sharp edge. We have to chamfer it. That's not a problem. I've got a chamfer. And there it is. 39.25. Perfect. We'll do one more piece. Okay. It's just beautiful. It's nice and square and shiny. And let's take a peek. There it is. 39.25. Perfect. Okay, so what happens after you get done trimming your brass to length? You're gonna deburr it. You're gonna chamfer it. You're gonna cut the inside and outside with your chamfer and deburr tool. But you have to deal with, in the primer pockets of military brass, they crimp it to hold the primer in, and you have to remove these crimps. And there's lots of ways to do it. Wilson came out with a Reamer to do that. So you put your brass into the collet, which has a taper, and it holds it just like a drill chuck would. A lot of machinery uses a taper, so it's pretty good design to hold it. And then they have a Reamer. What it does, it rides in the bearing the same way as the cutting tool does, and it's exact profile of a primer pocket. It's got a bevel cut on it to get rid of the crimp, and it reforms the sidewalls round again. So we're going to do that. Stick it in the machine, and really light pressure, and the tool will work itself into the pocket, and just rotate it until the cutter bottoms out, and it gives you the perfect profile and removes that crimp on the primer pocket. If this is mounted, it'd be so much easier. They also have a power attachment for it, and there it is. It's perfect. It's removed and beautiful. Nice bevel, no chatter marks. Just does a really nice job. So there you have it, the Wilson 50 BMG case trimmer and primer pocket Reamer.